10 tips for better conversations. In this short video, I want to go over some really quick but effective tips on how to become a better communicator. 1. Keep it as simple as possible. When trying to communicate something, it's almost always best that we make it as simple and easy to understand as possible. Any unnecessary details are often going to distract the listener, causing them to lose their attention and probably miss the main point of what you are saying. Try to avoid going on tangents and saying anything more than what is absolutely essential to get what you want to say across. 2. Put yourself in the listener's shoes. Know your audience better by putting yourself in their shoes, because the more you can step into their world and the more you can speak on their terms, the stronger your message will be. Use ideas in terms that are familiar to who you are speaking to. If you can meet them halfway, then they can follow your message much more clearly. 3. Speak with respect. It is important when being an effective communicator to avoid insults and harsh language. This will only turn the listener off and reject what you have to say. By instead being more respectful and polite, people will be more receptive to what you have to say, even if it expresses a different belief than what the listener believes. Remember, it's possible to disagree with others while still being respectful. 4. Have an open body posture. An open and relaxed body posture, with a straight back and no legs or arms crossed, is often much more inviting to a person than a closed body posture, where our legs and arms are crossed, our backs may be hunched over, and our body seems more reserved and withdrawn. You can try to improve your daily posture by practicing yoga or the Alexander technique. Just 10 to 20 minutes every morning for a couple weeks can make a noticeable difference in how you carry yourself. 5. Maintain meaningful eye contact. Eye contact is a sign that you are listening and being receptive to the other person. It is also a sign that what you're communicating is genuine and trustworthy. Try having meaningful eye contact throughout your conversations. Eye contact is a bit like a dance with the other person. You need to practice both holding it and knowing when to let go of it. Staring into someone's eyes too long may seem intimidating or unnatural. If you are someone who has trouble holding eye contact, practice by first noticing the eye color of the other person. If you walk away from a conversation and you can't remember their eye color, you probably need to practice more. 6. Try adding humor. Humor is a great social lubricant, and often people who can entertain, crack jokes, and laugh at themselves come off much more likable than people who are always serious and can't enjoy themselves. This doesn't mean you have to constantly entertain people, but having the ability to create laughs is valuable, especially to ease tension in awkward or unpleasant situations. Knowing when humor is appropriate and using it effectively is one of the best ways to strengthen your conversations and your connections with other people. 7. Share a personal story. You should try to share personal stories about your life whenever they are relevant or add something to the conversation. Sharing stories about your life is a great way to open yourself up to someone and give them insight into who you really are. And often when you open up to someone, they are likely to reciprocate by opening up to you and sharing stories about their lives. This is one of the most obvious but best ways to begin building a deep connection with someone. 8. Be a good listener. So far, most of this advice has been about what you should be actively doing to improve your communication, but another big half of the picture is by being a better listener. Giving other people our attention is one of the most fundamental ways of connecting with them. If you aren't a good listener, if you talk too much, or you always have other things going on in your head, it's going to be incredibly difficult to get to know the other person and actually build a meaningful relationship with them. 9. Repeat the really important stuff. If you are trying to tell someone something that is really important or something that you really want someone to remember, repeating it can be an effective way to really drive your message home. Too much repetition can seem annoying or condescending, but knowing when to repeat something effectively is a signal to the other person that this is something they should pay more attention to. 10. Practice, practice, practice. The truth is the very best way to improve your social interactions is to have more of them. Practice is where a lot of social learning takes place, and the truth is you need to go outside of your comfort zone sometimes and make mistakes before you can become more socially intelligent. Understand that becoming a more effective communicator takes some time, practice, and dedication. Just listening to these tips I've mentioned isn't going to automatically improve you overnight. You have to try putting them into practice and learning how they fit into your unique way of communicating with others. Thanks for listening to these quick tips on how to be a more effective communicator. To find out more information, go to www.theemotionmachine.com/conversationconfidence. Here you can find some information about a 4-hour audio guide and workbook put together by a social confidence coach with over 5 years of professional experience. In it, you will find a lot more tips and advice on how to take your conversation skills to the next level.